Children, welcome to another session of Science Class 4. Today we will understand Lesson 13, the Solar System. This lesson will help you to know the 8 planets, their order, different sizes, their names, and familiar with new words such as solar system, orbit, revolution, and rotation. And to identify the planets in Earth's solar system and to determine the position of the planet from the sun and to define the terms like sun, planet, dwarf planet, satellite and constellation. What is solar system? So the solar system consists of the sun and everything that orbit means revolve or travel around the sun. And these include the 8 planets and their moons, dwarf planet and countless comets and other small objects. However, even with all these things, most of the solar system is empty space. And this solar system itself is only a small part of a huge system of stars and other objects, which is called Milky Way galaxy. And even this solar system orbits around the center of galaxy, which is even just one of billion of galaxies that in turn make up the universe. Means we can say that the sun, the 8 planets, their moons and the dwarf planet form the solar system. And this solar system is a part of Milky Way galaxy and this galaxy is a part of universe. And these 8 planets that revolve around the sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. What is the sun? So at the center of the solar system is a star which is called the sun, and it is the largest object in the solar system, and its diameter or distance through its center is 865,000 miles, and in addition the sun contains more than 99% of all the material in the solar system, and it is hot ball of hydrogen and helium gas. Means that sun is a huge ball of fire that gives us heat and light, and even it is at the center of solar system. So we can say that sun is a ball of hot and burning gases, and it is made up of gases which is called hydrogen and helium, and it is the nearest star to the earth, and even sun is the major source of all energy for life on earth, like it gives us heat and light. What is Mercury? So it is one of the 8 planets that orbit or travel around, and it is the closest planet to the sun, and its average distance from the sun is about 36 million miles, and it travels around the sun at faster speed than any other planet. And even it has a large variation in its temperature during day and night, and it does not have any satellite of its own like Earth has moon, and there is no water or atmosphere on Mercury, and 88 days on Mercury makes a year, as it takes Mercury 88 days to orbit around the sun, means to revolve around the sun, and hence Mercury has the shortest year among all the other planets, and it can be seen with naked eye, and no seasons exist on Mercury's surface. Next planet, Venus, is one of the planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is the brightest planet in the sky when viewed from Earth, and it is Earth's nearest neighbor, coming closer to Earth than any other planet, and it is the second planet from the sun, and its distance from the sun average about 67 million miles, and it is the hottest planet in the solar system. Now next planet is Earth, and it is one of the 8 planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is the third planet from the sun, and Earth travels around the sun at an average distance of about 93 million miles, and even it appears bright when seen from outer space. And even Earth is the only planet in the solar system that can support life. Even Earth is often called the water planet because of the presence of water on it, and it is the only planet in our solar system that has liquid water on its surface, and about 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, and it reflects about 1/3 of sunlight that it receives. And even it is called the blue planet because from space the oceans combined with the atmosphere makes the planet look blue, and the layer of gases which remains attached to the ground of planet due to gravity, which prevent too much heat or UV rays from the sun reaching the earth. Even moon is the only satellite of the earth, and as earth revolves around the sun, and due to its tilt, seasons are created, and because of its rotation, day and night are created. Means it rotates about its own axis and thus creating day and night, and it takes 24 hours to make one rotation. And when its orbit means revolve the sun once in about 365 days. So in short, it is the third planet in the solar system. It is called blue planet because almost 70% of its surface is covered with water, and it appears blue when seen from the space, and it is the only planet where life is known to exist. Next planet is Mars, and it is one of the planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is the fourth planet from the sun, and it is also Earth's outer neighbor, and Mars travels around the sun at an average distance of about 142 million miles, and even its diameter is approximately half the diameter of Earth, and it has 2 satellites, and it is called red planet because the soil and rocks on this planet are red, and it is the only planet that is similar to Earth, and even scientists believe that it is the only planet beside Earth where life may exist. Next planet is Jupiter, and it is one of the 8 planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is the largest planet in the solar system, and it is bigger than all the other planets put together. And Jupiter is the 5th planet from the sun, and it travels around the sun at an average distance of about 483 million miles. So in short, it is the fifth and the largest planet in the solar system, and Jupiter spins very fast and pulling the clouds surrounding it to form a strip pattern, and this is why we see a strip pattern on Jupiter when we look carefully. And it is the largest planet in the solar system, and it is so big that you could fit all the other planets in the solar system inside it, and it has a great red spot which is the rotating storm system inside the planet. Next planet is Saturn, and it is one of the planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is the second largest planet in the solar system after Jupiter, and it is known for its beautiful rings, and it is the sixth planet from the sun, and it travels around the sun at an average distance of about 890 million miles, means 1.4 billion kilometers, and it has 22 known satellites, and its rings are made of many pieces of rocks and ice. Next planet is Uranus, and it was the first planet to be discovered after the invention of the telescope, and it is the seventh planet from the sun, and it travels around the sun at an average distance of about 1.8 billion miles, means 2.9 billion kilometers, and it is the only planet which rotates on its axis from east to west, and it has 27 known satellites, and it is a very cold planet, and it receives 370 times less sunlight than Earth, as it is far away from sun as compared to Earth. After Uranus, next planet is Neptune, and it is one of the 8 planets that orbit or travel around the sun in the solar system, and it is a huge distant planet that is deep blue in color, and it is stormy world, and the planet has the fastest wind ever discovered in the solar system as compared to other planets. And out of 8 planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars and Earth are inner planets, and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are outer planets. So together with Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are outer planets. Even till July 2006, it was accepted that the Sun has a family of 9 planets, not 8 planets. However, on August 24, 2006, the International Astronomical Union, means IAU, redefined a planet, and our solar system now has only 8 planets, and out of 9, Pluto, which was earlier a planet, is now called a dwarf planet. What is Moon? It is a large natural object that orbits or travels around Earth, and after the Sun, it is the brightest object in the sky, and the average distance between the Moon and the Earth is about 238,900 miles, means 384,400 kilometers, as compared to the distance between other planet and Earth, and this distance is small. In fact, the Moon is close enough to affect the level of seas on Earth. Even Moon doesn't have an atmosphere to protect it from extreme heat or cold. So the temperature on the Moon can be as high as 100 degrees Celsius at noon and as low as minus 173 degrees Celsius at night, means even below freezing point. And the moon doesn't produce its own light, and it shines because it reflects sunlight that falls on its surface. Now, what is satellite? So, a satellite is a small object that orbits or revolves around a large object in space. And satellites can be natural or artificial. Artificial means made by people. And all the planets in the solar system except Mercury and Venus have natural satellites. Like Earth Moon is one example of natural satellite. And artificial satellites are sent into space to gather information, and most are launched into space by rocket. And an object that revolves around a planet in an orbit is called satellite. So, an object that revolves around a planet in an orbit is called a satellite. Now, what is a star? So, if we look at the night sky, we see lots of shining, twinkling objects called stars. What are these stars made up of? So, stars are glowing balls of gases that spread out heat and light in space, and they are actually huge, but because they are so far away, they look like a tiny pinpoint of light to us. So, stars are huge glowing balls of gases, and the closest star to Earth is the Sun. And countless more stars are too far from Earth to be seen without a telescope. So, most stars are incredibly far away from Earth. What is constellation? So, it is a group of stars, and the groups are identified according to patterns that people have seen in the stars. Even you have already read that group of stars that seem to form specific pattern are called constellation. And some constellations that are easily visible are Ursa Major, means the Great Bear, Scorpio, and Orion, means the Hunter. And even other example like the star of the constellation Leo seem to trace the outline of lion, and the name Leo means lion in Latin language. Even the constellation Draco, whose name is Latin for dragon, is said to look like a dragon. So, a constellation is a group of visible stars that form a pattern when viewed from Earth, and the pattern they form may take the shape of an animal, a mythological creature, a man, a woman, or an inanimate object such as a microscope, compass, or a crown. So, constellations collectively form galaxy, and while a million galaxies together make up the universe, means galaxies are a part of universe and constellations are a part of galaxies. And the Milky Way is one such galaxy of which a solar system is a part, and Earth is a part of solar system. Now, let's understand what is revolution. So, revolution is often used as synonym for rotation. But in many fields of science like astronomy and its related subject, revolution is referred to as an orbital revolution. Means that it is used when one body moves around another. while rotation is used to mean the movement around the axis. For example, the moon revolves around the earth and the earth revolves around the sun. So, this movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path is called a revolution. So, the earth revolves from west to east in anti-clockwise direction, and the earth completes one revolution around the sun in 1 year or in 365 days, 6 hours and 9 minutes. And here the 6 hours and 9 minutes end up to about an extra day every 4th year, and which is designed as a leap year with the extra day added as 29th February. So we can say that while the earth is rotating on its axis, it also orbits the sun, and it takes a little more than 365 days for the earth to make a complete trip around the sun, and other planets have different orbital times. Suppose it takes only 87 days for Mercury to orbit the sun, but 12 years for Jupiter to make the journey. Now let's understand what is rotation. So, as you know, the earth moves in two different ways. Like earth revolves around the sun once a year and rotates on its axis once a day. When the earth's orbit makes a circle around the sun, at the same time the earth revolves around the sun. It also spins, and in science we call that rotating on its axis. And since the earth revolves the sun and rotates on its axis at the same time, we experience seasons, day and night, and changing shadow throughout the day. Even maybe you have observed that from earth the sun looks like it moves across the sky in the daytime and appears to disappear at night. And this is because the earth is spinning towards the east. This means that to us here on earth, the sun appears to rise in the east in the morning and climb higher and higher in the sky towards midday, and in the afternoon the sun then seems to move lower and lower in the sky before setting in the west. So as earth rotates, it seems like the sun is moving across the sky, but it's really the earth that rotating on its axis, and it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation, and which is why there are 24 hours in one day. And for much of human history, people believe earth to be flat, but we know better. But suppose if earth was flat, the way we experience day and night as well as seasons would be different. And one more difference would be that a flat earth would experience the same temperatures across its surface. Now, how day and night are caused. So, the change between day and night is caused by the rotation of the earth on its axis. But if the earth did not rotate as it does, the day and night cycle would be very different or possibly even non-existent. And the changing length of days and night depends on where you are on earth, whether in Asia, whether in Australia, or whether in any other continent or country, and even the time of year. And also daylight hours are affected by the tilt of earth axis and its path around the sun. And we experience day and night alternately. Early morning we see that the sun rises in the east and sets by twilight in the west always. And during the night we then see the stars move slowly toward east to west direction also. But actually the sun and the star do not move around us. Actually, the earth is the one which is moving around the sun. And this rotation of earth is like your favorite spinning toy top. And the pointed tip that goes through the middle of the top is the top's axis. And similarly, the earth has an axis but it is not straight up. This is because the earth is not spinning upright and the earth is slightly tilted by 23.50 degrees while spinning toward the east. And as sunlight falls only on one side of the earth, this side of the planet will be experiencing daylight. Because the earth is rotating, the opposite side of the earth away from the sun will be experiencing night. And after some time, the part of the earth experiencing daylight will experience night. So rotation of the earth causes day and night alternately. Now, how seasons are caused. So the earth revolution not only affect but actually cause the temperature condition that give us spring, summer and winter season. And which season it is depends on whether you live in northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, because the earth axis tilts toward one of the two as it moves around the sun. So the seasons are always opposite in each hemisphere, and this rotational process causes the sun to be higher in the sky in winter and lower in the summer. So today we have learned that the sun, the 8th planet, along with their moons and the dwarf planet form the solar system. And the planet and dwarf planet circle around the sun in the fixed path which are called orbit, and the moon is the only natural satellite of earth. And rotation causes day and night, and revolution along with the tilt axis of earth causes the season, and it takes the earth about 24 hours to complete one rotation and 365 and quarter days to complete one revolution.